This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. The SpaceX booster lands smoothly in the Exuma Sound. The race to find a missing man in bushes in Acklands. And Michael Pintard says an F&M government would criminalize marital rape. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, February 19th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning, we are getting details about the upcoming, this weekend, National Women's Symposium ahead of International Women's Day. Give you all the details that you need to know about that event. And later, it's our monthly series with Bristol. Today, we are talking rosé. That's all ahead on this Wednesday, but first it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, the daughter of a man who went missing in bushes on Acklands a week ago is hoping for his safe return home. Jamaica McKinney, who lives on Long Island, says her father, James McKinney, reportedly went into a bushy area behind his home in Spring Point sometime after 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday, February 11th, to look for cascarilla bark. She said he called police for help while he was in the bushes. However, officers were unable to locate him and he never returned home. McKinney has questioned the police response to her father's initial distress call, as well as the thoroughness of the search efforts. McKinney, her father, a retiree who turned 60 on Valentine's Day, recently returned to Acklands after spending time in New Providence, Exuma, and Long Island recovering from a stroke. His daughter says her father had searched the bushes for bark in the past. She said she can't wrap her head around the fact that he could have gotten lost in the area since it's behind his home. She also doesn't think her father's stroke affected his memory. You can read more about this in today's Nassau Guardian. A man accused of taking advantage of a 21-year-old woman while she was drunk has been convicted of rape. After deliberating for 2 hours, a jury found Akeem Wilson guilty of rape by a count of 6-3. Wilson, who was on bail during his trial, was ordered remanded into custody. The penalty phase of his trial begins before Justice Renee McKay on May 7th. The 57-year-old Wilson was accused of raping the woman between July 4th and 5th in 2021. The woman said she knew Wilson because he was her sister's friend. On the evening of July 4th, the woman said she and her sister went to Arawak Key where they had drinks before they headed to Wilson's bar where they continued to drink. She said they were both intoxicated by the time they got back to her sister's apartment. The complainant said that she helped her sister into bed. The woman said that she went to the bathroom and threw up. She eventually passed out on the bathroom floor and opened her eyes after she heard grunting. When she opened her eyes, she saw Wilson on top of her. A retired prison guard whose bail was revoked for stalking his alleged victim is seeking bail again. 67-year-old Jeffrey Sherman is accused of shooting his now former girlfriend on August 23, 2023. Prosecutors allege that Sherman, while armed with a shotgun, wounded Bridget Ingram in both arms during an argument at her home in Pinewood Gardens. Sherman appeared before Justice Neil Brathwaite yesterday for a bail hearing. However, the matter was adjourned to give his lawyer time to review the prosecution's submissions. F&M leader Michael Pintard says the government led by him would criminalize marital rape, noting that there are scenarios where people should have the right to pursue rape charges against their spouses. He told the National Guardian, "We are committed to changing the law." That's a quote. He says, quote, "We will change the law so that a married woman has the ability, in the same way that she has the ability to pursue charges when her husband hits or kicks her, to pursue a charge of rape, and there are scenarios where she should have the right to do so." He did not outline those scenarios, though. Several administrations have pledged to criminalize marital rape. The matter has been identified as a significant human rights issue, and the Bahamas is one of only a few countries on this side of the globe where the definition of rape explicitly excludes cases in which the incident takes place between married partners. Meanwhile, women's groups plan to stand together and send a strong message to the government over the failure to criminalize marital rape. President of Women United, Podesta Moore, saying, quote, "We pay taxes, we do all this other stuff, but nobody is taking our matter seriously. But don't worry, we have something coming forward, and the women are going to be galvanized. We're going to get together, and they are going to see in the next election how we're going to stand together in unity and speak strong about all these issues that impact women." Moore was contacted for comment a day after Prime Minister Philip Davis told reporters he wants consensus before moving forward on the marital rape issue, coming after years of dialogue between the government, activists, and the church on the issue, and a draft bill to criminalize marital rape was released for consultation. And SpaceX successfully landed its Falcon 9 first-stage rocket booster in the Exuma Sound, marking the beginning of space tourism in the Bahamas and the first of 19 more rocket booster landings in the country. Prime Minister Philip Davis saying at the completion of the Falcon 9 booster landing, quote, "I'm so proud and privileged to be a part of this history-making moment. The launch and landing, a partnership between the Bahamas and SpaceX, opens the door for SpaceX to begin new trajectories into space to the south of the globe and will allow the space company to fly the first manned mission over the poles of the Earth." Overseas, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky saying that U.S. President Donald Trump is living in a Russian disinformation space regarding his previous day's comments about the Ukrainian leader's approval rating. Trump said in Mar-a-Lago that Zelensky's rating stood at 4%. Zelensky replied in a news conference in the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv that, quote, "We have seen this disinformation. We understand that is coming from Russia." He said that Trump, quote, "lives in this disinformation space." Trump also suggested Ukraine ought to hold elections, which have been postponed due to the war and the consequent imposition of martial law in accordance with the Ukrainian constitution. Public opinion polls and approval ratings haven't been reliable in Ukraine because of the fighting. Zelensky making the comments shortly before he was expected to meet with Keith Kellogg, the U.S. Special Envoy for Ukraine and Russia, who arrived in Kyiv on Wednesday. Kellogg will meet Zelensky and military commanders as the U.S. shifts its policy away from years of efforts to isolate Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump suggested Tuesday that Kyiv was to blame for the war, which enters its fourth year next week. This as talks between top American and Russian diplomats in Saudi Arabia sidelined Ukraine and its European supporters. Trump's comments are likely to vex Ukrainian officials who've urged the world to help them fight Russia's full-scale invasion that began February 24th, 2022. The battlefield has also brought grim news for Ukraine in recent months. A relentless onslaught in eastern areas by Russia's bigger army is grinding down Ukrainian forces, which are slowly but steadily being pushed backward at some points on the 600-mile front line. Trump told reporters at his residence in Florida Tuesday that Ukraine, quote, "should have never started the war and could have made a deal to prevent it." Kellogg said his visit was a chance to have some good, substantial talks. Zelensky canceled his planned Wednesday trip to Saudi Arabia in what some analysts saw as an attempt to deny legitimacy to the U.S.-Russia talks. Tens of thousands of Palestinians in recent weeks have fled Israeli military operations across the northern West Bank, the largest displacement in the occupied territory since the 1967 Middle East War. After announcing a widespread crackdown against West Bank militants on January 21st, just 2 days after its ceasefire deal with Hamas in Gaza, Israeli forces descended on the restive city of Jenin, as they have dozens of times since Hamas's October 7th, 2023 attack on Israel. Unlike past operations, Israeli forces then pushed deeper and more forcefully into several other nearby towns, scattering families and stirring bitter memories of the 1948 war over Israel's creation. And Brazil's prosecutor general formally charging former President Jair Bolsonaro with attempting a coup to stay in office after his 2022 election defeat, in a plot that included a plan to poison his successor and current President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva and kill a Supreme Court judge. Prosecutor General Paulo Gonet alleging that Bolsonaro and 33 others participated in a plan to remain in power. The alleged plot included a plan to poison Lula and shoot dead Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes, a foe of the former president. Bolsonaro is often seen in Brazil's yellow and green national soccer jersey, and the colors have become associated with his political movement. His defense team says it met the accusations with, quote, dismay and indignation, adding in a statement that the former president, quote, has never agreed to any movement aimed at deconstructing the democratic rule of law or institutions that underpin it. And Honduran President Yumaro Castro reversing course on a decision to end a long-running extradition treaty with the United States after reaching an agreement with U.S. President Donald Trump's administration. The reversal coming as the Trump administration has struck agreements with a number of Central American nations to receive deported migrants from other nations, often after pressure was applied or others of support made on other issues, or offers of support, rather. Castro writing in a post on X, quote, I announced that I have reached an agreement with the new American administration so that the extradition treaty will continue with the necessary safeguards for the state of Honduras. Honduras was not a stop on U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio's recent Central American tour. And while Honduras has continued to receive its own deportees, neither Honduras nor the U.S. have said there is a deal for Honduras to receive migrants from other nations. In February, Mexico started sending 10,000 troops to the U.S.-Mexico border to postpone threatened 25% tariffs. Last month, Colombia's firebrand leftist leader caved in a showdown after Trump threatened steep tariffs and sanctions after the Colombian government said it wouldn't take deportation flights in the U.S. military aircraft. And authorities in Haiti have issued more than a dozen arrest warrants against suspects accused of backing gang members that have been attacking a peaceful community near the capital for the past 3 weeks. Dozens of people have been killed in Kenskoff this month, including 3 police officers and 1 soldier. Among those accused of plotting against the government and backing the gangs is former Senator Nenel Kassi and former Kenskoff legislator Alfredo Antoine. Neither could be reached for comment from the Associated Press. Among the victims of the attacks was a 2-month-old baby. That's according to the Cooperative for Peace and Development, a local human rights group who called for the creation of a special international criminal tribunal to try all those accused of killing thousands of people, including children, across Haiti in recent years. It is time for sports, brought to you by Kalik. The Kingsway Academy Saints didn't have the season they would have liked in the BAISS, but they're off and rolling in the 41st Annual Hugh Campbell Invitational Basketball Tournament. They secured a convincing win at the Air Valley Gym Tuesday. In their first game of the tournament, the Saints spanked the Greenville Preparatory Academy Eagles, who are making their debut appearance in the double elimination tournament. The Saints won easily, 57-20, and will go on to play the private schools champion St. John's College Giants in their next game today. That game is the fifth game of the morning session and is scheduled to get underway at 2 p.m. From college basketball, Bahamian collegiate freshman with Baylor University Bears, Valdez Vijay Edgecombe, having a phenomenal first season. Edgecombe and the Bears dropping another home game, though, on Monday, falling 74-67 to the number 19 University of Arizona Wildcats. Edgecombe, though, is averaging 15 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 3.3 assists per game. He struck for a game-high 24 on Monday. He was 6 for 13 from the field, but just 1 for 6 from three-point range. He had 14 free throw attempts and hit 11 of those. He also had 4 rebounds and 2 assists. With the loss, though, the Bears dropped to a 16-10 win-loss record. 8-7 in the Big 12 Conference. The Wildcats improved to 18-8, and they're 12-3 in Big 12. That's sports, brought to you by Kalik, the beer of the Bahamas, inviting you to Victory Fest 2025, March 1st at Smuggler's Square, for an epic celebration of the 2024 Boxing Day and 2025 New Year's Day Junkanoo winners, the Saxon Superstars. The Junkanoo season may be over, but the celebration is just getting started. Celebrating the 4 straight Junkanoo winners, the Saxon Superstars, Saturday, March 1st at Smuggler's Square, and Kalik, the beer of the Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
It is time for your first good weather, brought to you by Grosvenor Medical Center. Shower activity linked to a weakening front, and its prefrontal trough will begin to slowly shift northwards. A re-strengthening subtropical ridge will build westwards, and that's going to introduce a short period of above normal temperatures. A low is going to develop in the Gulf of Mexico by this morning, dragging a stronger cold front across Florida that's going to approach the northern Bahamas by tomorrow and for the remainder of the week. There is a moderate risk of rip currents affecting all Atlantic exposures, and there's a slight chance of possible waterspout activity across the northern Bahamas over the next few days. Beachgoers and operators should continue to exercise caution. So for today, the forecast calls for partly sunny conditions. Mostly fair tonight. We're looking at high temperatures near 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius, so another hot day in store. Overnight lows now getting down to about 69, 70 Fahrenheit, about 21 Celsius. We've got about a 20 to 30% chance of showers, falling to about 10% as the day progresses today. And again, another warm day in store. But changes are coming. We'll tell you about that in the extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This first look at weather, though, brought to you by Grosvenor Medical Center. Screening for colorectal cancer should begin at the age of 45. Reduce your risk for colon cancer and schedule your colonoscopy today at reduced prices for the months of March and April at the office of Dr. Harold Munnings, located next to Princess Margaret Hospital. They're offering an even lower price for those who present with their NHI cards. Give them a call today at 328-5550 That's Grosvenor Medical Center.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Dominican Republic, destination for the team. When an all-expense paid trip for 2 by signing 3 or more money transfers to enter. What a deal. With Western Union, you get to see just how it feels. Yeah. Esto está caliente. Te barinas, really hard to get. Hola, hola from the DR. Taking pictures for the gram just to show you we are. GK Money be the motion, papi, mamacita. Go to Grace Kennedy, the team is ready to start because Dominican Republic, destination for the team. With an all-expense paid trip for 2 by signing 3 or more money transfers to enter. What a deal. With Western Union, you get to see just how it feels, yeah. To see just how it feels, yeah. With Western Union.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Spain sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner with increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools. Take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up.
Wow. Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC. It's 422-4796, standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Chester Robards. Chester Robards, good morning.
Good morning.
You back from space?
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a bit. Also this morning, though, we'll give you details about the upcoming National Women's Symposium. That is this weekend. Get you all that you need to know about that. And later, it's our monthly series with Bristol. We're talking about rosé today. And we're looking forward to that. That's all ahead, but let's get into what else is in the news. And in the news, we're going to get into marital rape. I'm drained. I'm tired of talking about this because it gets us nowhere. But the FNM is saying they will criminalize marital rape if they are returned to power. And we'll get to that. And we didn't have time to get to what the Prime Minister had said the day before. We'll get to all of that this morning. But before we get to that, the big headline in the papers today, SpaceX. Everybody's very excited about this.
Who? Everybody.
Well, I mean, that's in quotation marks. Everybody who's out there is very excited. Out there watching it. Out there. Falcon 9 rocket booster having a flawless landing in the Exuma Sound. You were there?
Yes.
Oh, boy. We'll talk to Chester about that in a bit. He has the lead story in the paper today talking about it. You excited?
It was
is
an
your life changing?
amazing opportunity.
What? To
Yes,
see it?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Your life has changed?
Yeah. It was it was a bucket list thing, I think.
To see a rocket land?
Rocket land.
That was on your bucket
And a
list?
rocket and a rocket launch. So that's next. I saw it land before I saw it
That was on your
launch.
bucket list? To watch a rocket launch and land. Interesting. Okay, that's cool. I'm glad that you got to take that one off.
Why is your face all
I
mashed
mean,
up? Why?
to watch it launch and land, not to be on one. That's on it too.
I can't be in the backseat of a car while it's driving. I wouldn't make it on a rocket.
I don't understand what you're saying, but okay.
I have extreme motion sickness. It would be a terrible thing for me to be on a rocket, I'm sure.
Okay, we'll get to Chester and his issues in a bit, but take a listen to this report from our Vanik Toot.
At 6:22 p.m. Tuesday, the SpaceX Falcon 9 booster took off from Launch Site 40 at Cape Canaveral in Florida and landed in Eleuthera, marking the first time a rocket has taken off in one country, gone to space, and landed in another country on a drone ship.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. In full power. And liftoff. Go Falcon. Go Falcon.
Vehicle touching down range.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
At T plus 30 seconds and counting, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station.
The historic landing is the first of 20 planned for the Bahamas as it explores space tourism.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there you heard that call out for successful landing of our Falcon 9 rocket. And you can hear the cheering behind me. Welcome to the Bahamas, Falcon 9.
Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper called the moment groundbreaking.
This will open new doors, and we will come to the table with tested legal, regulatory, and technical experience on the international stage. There will be a tourism boost for a different type of clientele, and tech-savvy and influential people will discover a different and wider Bahamas, enjoying our unique history whilst witnessing the future. This also represents a vehicle to create opportunities for Bahamians within the Bahamas who previously would have left the country to pursue high technology career elsewhere.
Prime Minister Philip Davis says the rocket landing is just the beginning.
Over the coming months, the Bahamas will host at least 20 scheduled rocket landings. Let me just say, this agreement with SpaceX will, one, position the Bahamas as a leader in space tourism, giving people from around the world a reason to visit our islands, not just for our beaches, but for a front row seat to space history. This agreement will generate economic activities and opportunities by attracting space enthusiasts, creating jobs in technology, the tourism sectors, and sparking new investments.
Davis says officials have worked with SpaceX to ensure the landings follow strict safety and environmental protocols, adding this process began 6 months ago. SpaceX engineers Mike Lee and Tyler Anderson outlined Falcon 9's trajectory.
First, we have launch and the stack descent, we call it, when the first stage and second stage are together. That's going to all happen closer to the launch site. We won't see much of that. Just before stage separation, before first engine cutoff, we will see the rocket coming over the horizon. And like Mike said, you want to direct your attention to the right here, kind of just towards the tip of that jetty there. That's where the rocket will be coming over the horizon. After the first stage engines cut off, we'll have stage separation, and then the second stage will light up. And that whole process there is pretty quick. It's about 10 seconds from the time that the first stage engines cut off and you won't see anything until the second stage lights up again and you'll see a bright light again.
Bahamian Aisha Bowe, who was engaged as a consultant for the landing, says it is more than just technology or tourism.
So to every young Bahamian who is watching me today in Eleuthera, living out my life's dream and encouraging you to reach for yours, I want you to dare to dream beyond what you can see. I want you to dare to dream beyond what people expect of you. I want you to dare to believe that you are capable of anything. Like those who you see here today, they are pushing the boundaries of what any country, any world power has done thus far. Because when you dream boldly, you don't just change your own life, you change the world.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Vonnie Toot.
Okay, exciting stuff. So tell us about your experience. You went out there, Chester. You were invited as part of the media.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you were on a boat or something, or
no?
Or
we were at Cape Eleuthera on the shore watching. I don't know. I guess they couldn't do everything they wanted to do from a boat. You know, the speeches, all this stuff.
Yes.
And especially in the time frame.
And people get seasick.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a short time frame between launch and landing.
Okay.
There was a lot that they probably had to think about. But no, even from the shore of Cape Eleuthera, you could see, the landing burn when it fired up, and you watched it slowly come down on the horizon and cut off, and then you heard the double sonic booms, and that was cool. I mean, I've probably waited a long time to hear a sonic boom in my life, and so now I finally did.
What time is that?
6:30.
Is that what I heard yesterday?
Probably.
Because I heard a loud bang and and even the dogs were like, what the?
It was probably that.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I thought, typically somebody got shot. But that I did hear something weird. And I'm like, what was that?
It was the sonic boom from the...
Oh, that's insane. We're going to have 19 more of those?
From the rocket, yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay.
I mean, you have 20 to 30 of them when you have a thunderstorm, so... Why are you looking at me strange?
Well, I mean, that's Mother Nature, man-made disturbances.
Sounds the same, though, doesn't it?
Oh, okay. Great. So now you were telling me because, what are they doing? I don't know if that's been covered clearly, but you were telling me you had a little more insight into what this is all about. They're not just going up there for fun and coming down. They're doing some stuff, right?
I mean, each landing, so most of the Falcon 9 rocket launches are carrying some kind of payload into space. Starlink is the biggest thing in internet since internet, right?
Yeah.
And that's what the rocket did yesterday. The booster that landed in the
It put up a new
Sound
Starlink satellite?
Sent, I think, 2 to 3 new Starlink satellites, or maybe 4, 10, 12, maybe 2. I don't know how big these things are, but sent more Starlink satellites into orbit to expand their
better coverage,
their net, yeah,
which is already apparently quite amazing.
Yeah. Those 19 missions that they talked about where boosters will be landing in the Bahamas probably have something to do with sending more Starlink satellites and other different payloads into space. They also have a manned mission. I don't know if that one is going to be on one of the rockets. One of those rockets is going to be landing, but it's their first manned expedition to some area. So another first for them coming up in a manned expedition.
That is cool. You should have seen us yesterday walking around trying to figure out what that boom was. Like, did somebody hit the house? Was somebody hurt? We was like, God, do we need to call the cops? But that's what that was.
Yes.
Well, that is great. Great. 19 more. All right. But this is exciting. You say life-changing for you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So now a lot of people are asking about space tourism and really does this factor in it? Are there going to be a lot of people who will want to have that experience that you had, who want to be here, who want to
I mean, if there are more people like me, and I followed SpaceX just because they broadcast every launch that they have, just the way they did yesterday. They explain what's going on, why you see smoke coming off the rocket while it's on the launch pad, because people are like, oh no, something's happening. But it's condensation because they're filling it up with liquid oxygen as a propellant, and they explain all this stuff away. And if you were a bit of a geek or a science nerd, you love that stuff, right? And why are you looking at that?
What are you talking about?
You should see his face. Anyway. But there are people like you who don't care about it, right?
I wouldn't say I don't care, but
and there are people like me maybe, and people like Aisha who studied these things and wanted to build Aisha Bo, our Bahamian rocket scientist, who wanted to build these things and see these things fly, and it takes a ton of engineering for this to happen, right? This is not, you putting gasoline in a tube and setting it on fire and it fly up in the air and come back down. It's not that, right? There's a whole lot that goes into it, as you can imagine.
All right, so I know a lot of people are asking, how will this directly benefit us? Other than the people coming to see this experience, will this encourage, you think, more people to get into rocket science?
So last night, the people, I imagine they were guests of Cape Eleuthera. A handful of people who were there, and they all came out to the beach. And when we saw the rocket, everyone got excited immediately. Like people were sitting down, they moved closer to the shoreline as if they could get closer to the rocket, which obviously they couldn't. They could have stayed right where they are and had the same view. But, as the rocket landed and you saw the engines cut off, everyone was like, yes, they're clapping. They thought it was successful. And we heard the sonic booms and everybody was like, oh yeah, awesome. And they were stoked. I mean, some people who looked like they were guests were basically high-fiving. They were like, that was dope.
That's nice. I mean, I thought someone was trying to kill us.
But
that's
even,
good.
But
at least you knew what it was.
Even Nasuvians who I saw posting on Facebook who could see the rocket and who could see the first the booster burn, re-entry burn, were excited about it.
Yes, people were posting beautiful images as well. They got to see a lot here. Yeah. Because of course we felt that boom.
Because the re-entry burn is something that you don't ever see because it doesn't land in this area, right? And that's a very that's a feat of engineering that nobody has thought of until SpaceX.
Wonderful.
Or nobody succeeded at until SpaceX.
Yeah. Great stuff. Okay, so we can hear the excitement. Let's hear from you. What do you make of all of this? Are you feeling the energy? 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. I really thought the bus drivers are at it again, but there was the sonic boom. Good stuff. 422-4796. You can text us.
You're making fun of the people who want to.
No. I just didn't know that we would experience that here. But this is, the islands are close to each other, so that is right there.
Yeah.
And so definitely. Caller, what say you on this?
Good morning.
Hi.
I did not see it, but I'm excited, and I'll tell you why. More than loving maths, I love computers. And this is the way of the world. We need to get our little children, when they're young, before they get the age of 6, to know the things that they can do, rather than be forced in a box and be stereotyped, whether it's by gender or by ethnicity or anything of the sort. So I say hip, 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 hooray, hooray, hooray.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Okay, excellent, wonderful.
And that stereotyping is a terrible thing.
No, indeed.
Because I can tell you that just like we do all the time, people tell, space travel, that's white people stuff. Rock climbing, that's white people stuff. You do that stuff, that's white people stuff.
That last one, sure. But space travel, everybody
you take your time.
That could,
No, but you understand, people have those thoughts about these things. Oh, rocket landing in the Bahamas, what are we doing that for? We don't get anything out of it. If there was a young girl who I was teaching a class last week, and she said, one of the biggest things that she wanted to do is experience weightlessness. She's like, but she don't think she'll ever be an astronaut.
Yeah.
And I said, you don't have to be an astronaut to experience weightlessness.
I'd love to experience that as well.
There are flights that you can buy, and they're very expensive, that you could experience it, right? However long that is, half an hour or whatever it is, right? And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah. But she was a person I would never have even thought about those things. And she wants to experience that.
So
we need to keep our kids curious, huh?
It's you stereotyping.
I did stereotype her. Absolutely.
Yeah. Great stuff. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Dwight, good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
And good morning to your SpaceX experience co-host.
Good morning.
Amidst all the fanfare and the shiny object with respect to SpaceX's return or presence here in the Bahamas, I have some basic questions on this whole initiative, and as simple as is there a heads of agreement or a partnership between the Bahamas and SpaceX? does a partnership exist at this time?
Yes.
And if it does exist,
yes.
Do you know what are the contents and the tenets of that partnership?
I do not.
Is it a 15-year or 20-year? What is SpaceX's obligations to the environment of the Bahamas? We don't know any of those things. It seems to be a lot of talk about the fancy stuff, but I'd like to have an opportunity to understand whether we are committing the next generation or current generation of Bahamians to a partnership that makes sense. The other question that I have is, I listened to the minister and the prime minister. They said technology jobs and what I term as the migration of technologically inclined Bahamians back to the Bahamas. In what context are Bahamians to expect to be able to get technology jobs from this initiative? I mean, where do we start? Where do we look? Is there going to be an institution? Is there going to be online jobs? It seems pretty bare. The conversation doesn't lend itself to the average person sitting down and saying, okay, I'm the person that's going to pursue technology jobs. Where do I start? The other thing that concerns me about the way we're the language surrounding it and how we're talking about it, we're not talking about it in ways that the average Bahamian can make tangible steps towards participation or functioning in terms of a derivative. What do we get out of it in that sense? If you wake up this morning, you said that took place last week or yesterday, another one in 2 weeks. What steps should the average Bahamian take if he wanted to monetize or to be able to participate in this initiative? And I think that these are some of the things that the politicians make huge mistakes in not speaking in everyday terms so it makes sense to the average person. And whether it's the tourism surrounding it, what are you going? Is there going to be a promotion in terms of maybe boating for people to go down there, and there's a zone that people can probably take people down there to see it? Talk practical things to the Bahamian people when you're talking these things, and that's what I'm waiting for Chester them to come back to the Bahamian people with, so that it makes sense to the average businessman, to the average everyday mom and pop who might want to put their monies or their initiative or their inspiration around this kind of thing.
Okay, thanks a lot. I think the last part of what you asked about has been answered already.
Well, it's in the paper today.
Right, that's
Aisha
definitely
Bowe,
a
private person, and again, this goes back to stop thinking about what the government. Use your own brain about what you can do for yourself regarding this initiative. And Aisha Bowe talks about it. There are going to be people who, if you were at Cape Eleuthera tomorrow and you had T-shirts that said "I watched the first SpaceX landing in the Bahamas," they probably would buy that shirt.
Yeah.
Right? And there's only 10 of them, limited edition, right? Yeah. There you go. Business idea.
Yeah. Find out the schedule of when the next one is and
right.
put your Airbnb up and say, hey, you want to feel the sonic boom that we all experienced yesterday?
Our Airbnb,
people might come.
Our Airbnb is 5 minutes from the beach where you can watch this land.
Yeah.
Big. Boom. Business idea. Boats, yeah. The Defense Force has a rope around the drone ship.
So you can't get too close.
So you can't get too close to put yourself in any kind of harm. But yeah, you could get closer than the shore.
Yeah. So this is time for you to start thinking.
For you to start thinking.
Yeah.
And you don't need Chester Cooper and them to tell you how to monetize this.
Right.
But they have, though. Right? And you just have to kind of pay attention and go and do some research. I saw people making comments online. Oh, they said they signed a deal last year. Why they hide that from the Bahamian people? Well, it was in the Nassau Guardian because I wrote the story. Go and find the information.
Yeah. And to the earlier parts of your question, John, I believe this is like what Chester was talking about earlier, that there will be younger people, and what the previous caller said, who are going to be inspired now and say, maybe I should pay attention in science class.
Yeah.
Maybe there will be opportunities in the future for me to do things. Maybe other people will say, I will have a launch pad right here on an island in the Bahamas, and that might spark some new development around that area. So this is the beginning.
Jeff Bezos
something potentially
put his
big.
spaceport in a desert. I mean, we have lots of deserted areas in some islands that may need a little development, right?
So this is the spark, the boom that will get things flowing.
As far
potentially.
as what the government signed, and they had to. So this partnership included our aviation people, the Federal Aviation Administration, because they obviously take care of our airspace for us. So if you're looking for deals that you could think, you said put it in regular terms, airplanes fly in our airspace every day, and there are deals that had to be made between FAA and our aviation authority. It's think about those, like along those lines. It's close to that, but also a little bit more in terms of maybe what we get paid instead of overflight fees for planes that don't land here, right? Because there is a rocket landing here, but it's a special kind of. I don't think we got the amount yet,
right?
And maybe you're looking for that.
I think some people are,
but literally, it was a literal between the rocket leaving its payload and landing on the ship was maybe 3 to 4 minutes of our time, and then the drone ship takes it back to Florida through the country.
Okay, let's take some of these calls really quickly. Running out of time for this part of the show. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, are you there? Let's take the other one. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. No, I think we had them holding along. Good morning. You're on the air. Good morning. Okay. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes. Good morning to you, and good morning to you, Chester, Seattle, and Johnson.
Hi.
Let me just join John in being a curious mind. I heard Miss Bo speak, and I would assume that she, being a science and data person, that she would have brought more information rather than the sales pitch. When I hear,
would you want that there? I don't know if that was the time for that.
No, you should have it, period. I don't care where it is. But
she probably does have it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Where, Dwight? Where can we find the information regards to this, the environmental impact, the fact that that we may be, I can't remember, are we a sacrifice, as they call it, the sacrifice zone? You familiar with that term?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's a zone where that becomes a high-risk area from pollution, from noise, from impact from the sea, impact from birds, all of these, all of these different aspects of this landing. These are questions being asked of SpaceX within the United States. And so where's the data to support the position, the risk versus the reward? Then we say, just like all the other tourism things, prepare ye, prepare ye, prepare ye. But no one talks about what it is that you're preparing for, how long. Is this just a one, like you say, is this a 1 year thing, 15-year thing, 20-year thing? So when we talk about, when we talk about this so-called things with the 21st century data and information, we talk about this word innovation and prepare yourself. If you use the same standards that we're using for SpaceX, then we should be an aeronautical industry in the Bahamas because of all the planes that land here. And so when you talk about innovation, it goes through a process of curiosity, imagination, creativity, creation, and innovation. It doesn't just pop up, and it has to have the environment that's conducive to it. And I think we should stop deluding ourselves in the 21st century to say we can make trinkets and get on some boat and sell to the people and all these other different things. And so where is the need analysis? Where is the benefit analysis? Where is those data, those information? We never, not just for SpaceX, but more so because this has an immediate impact on the environment. We have possible spillage. So much questions that is unanswered. But we have to get out of the habit of saying, we benefit this, we benefit that. And it becomes like CMI, like I use all the time. Why don't we just make Rolls-Royce duty-free for everybody? Because there's a potential benefit to that, but one day you'll be able to afford it. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I don't know. Rolls-Royce, I think he said. So other than the $1 million that SpaceX is donating to UB, right? We haven't heard much about numbers. You mentioned that. Any idea why and when we will know more?
Hopefully soon. I mean, we don't know. I see people putting how much each landing cost, but that doesn't have anything to do with
how much does it cost.
How much?
According to
I
those
see people putting $5 million. Each landing costs $5 million. Maybe it saves SpaceX $5 million. I don't know right, where they're getting that number from. But we haven't gotten a definitive number of how much we get paid per landing.
Okay. One final call, and then we want to read these messages and go to a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Okay, so they're playing with our phone lines. Maybe it's space aliens. I don't know. All right, let's get to these messages. This person says here, where are the financial benefits to the Bahamas as a result of these landings. I mean, how much are we getting paid for this? Yeah. I heard that boom too, Dwight, here in Nassau. Actually, it shook the windows a bit. Yeah, it was quite something.
Yeah,
Really didn't expect. I don't think, was that stated that people in your province might feel that? No, I don't think we were expecting
not in the
that at
province.
all. That was
We
weird.
heard a double boom on the beach.
It was one loud boom. I'm like, what the heck? I was with my mom and the dog, and everybody's like, what the heck was that? And we're looking all around the yard, and like, good, you two produce? Okay, everybody feels like, what?
Yeah, everybody heard it.
Like, okay, so what just happened? Did a bomb, somebody's house explode? This person says here, was that Chester Cooper counting down?
Yes.
It sounded like him.
Yes.
Okay. I think Cooper is exaggerating our role in this initiative, saying that this is just a start. That's like my cousin just learning to drive and saying they will become a race car driver next week. You got to dream big, you know. You got to dream big.
That doesn't make any sense. That made no sense whatsoever. A start is a start. He didn't say we were. He didn't say we were going to become a spaceport tomorrow next week.
We're gonna launch our own rocket by the end of March.
Yeah.
No, he didn't say that. But anyway, and Dave is saying that we will do XYZ on the world stage now because of this. Sounds eerily familiar to the FTX speech. Oh boy. This texter says SpaceX is a huge PLP government distraction from our country. Many real unresolved problems. More promises by them to possibly remain in power. Okay.
Well, I'm glad you're not distracted by it. So keep us on our toes while we're distracted with some rockets.
Given some of the technological mishaps surrounding some of Elon Musk's companies, did we conduct any studies on the environmental impact assessment of how these boosters can adversely affect our environment? And they did.
I tell you what, airplanes should never fly again. Have you seen what's happened in the last month and a half? Oh my goodness.
So see, now the sarcasm, I tell you, over the radio that gets lost, people are going to think that's what you really mean. You're being sarcastic.
We should land rockets, but we shouldn't fly airplanes anymore because they turn over on tarmacs.
It seems like every day.
And blow up in the middle of cities and spill oil and all over the place.
Every single day there seems to be some problem.
Yeah.
But wow.
And they transport drugs and land in our bushes. It's madness with these airplanes.
People are going to believe you. You need to. I'm telling you now, this is lost on at least half the listeners. You need to stop. Anyway, this person says, are there any contingency plans in the event one of these boosters explodes or, God forbids, their guidance systems fail and it makes landfall on one of the inhabited islands or keys? Well, thank God, it will be uninhabited. Or you mean inhabited? Okay, they're saying, well, what are the specific financial benefits for our public person? I'm sure that has been. Do you know anything about that? If it collapses and falls on people.
I
mean,
I'm sure.
It's the same thing
I'm
you said.
sure
Planes fall out of the sky.
Planes fall out of the sky all the time.
So,
what financial benefit? I mean, why don't you ask that about Virgin and Delta and American Airlines? Because they doing it every day.
You don't have to call the names like that.
I'm just saying
Mm-hmm.
airlines in general.
Commercial airlines.
Airlines.
Yes, right.
But they pay. They pay what they need to pay, even though they don't like it. And they have complained about it.
Somebody here is the richest man in the world. So we heard that boom here in Nassau, too. Great PR for the Bahamas and all involved. Keep talking, Chester. We want to know more. And also, what would that sweet Tex and Dwight got that had and draw for? What?
Say what?
Also, we also want to know what that sweet Tex and Dwight got that had his jaw on the floor. But they were. That's supposed to be the AI type of that one.
Well, let me pose this question. If you could get from New York to London in 3 hours, would you want to do that?
Maybe. Maybe too. Mm-hmm. What are you saying? We could do it on a rocket ship?
No.
Oh.
But
what's your point?
We've had commercial airlines that could break the sound barrier. Mm-hmm. And you know what that did? It created a sonic boom every time the plane flew faster than Mach 1.
Mm-hmm. Fun.
People were complaining about that?
Oh, I'm sure somebody was.
They do.
Yeah.
But do you want it to go away? Faster air travel?
Well, they don't do it now. So
yeah, well,
I don't know if it's because of that.
Because the Concorde went the way of the dodo. But they're coming back.
Hopefully it'll be better than what it was before. This person said, it felt like the earth shook yesterday. I thought it was another gas tank explosion, but I hope the government negotiated for things that benefited the Bahamas and not just themselves. Who? What? I heard that sound too, where you can get 10,000 I heard it. We all heard it. We all heard it. I thought someone was breaking my door down. Yeah, really did think someone was breaking into the house. Yeah. Thought everything. Really thought everything. There was an explosion. Somebody ran into somebody. It was wacky. Congratulations, Chester, and shame on you, Dwight, for joking about his and others' excitement.
Why am I getting congratulated?
Yeah, well,
I just thought it was cool.
All the Chesters won yesterday.
I don't know what that means. Well, motto. My wife thinks I'm crazy because I want to go back to Kilauea when it's erupting. Is that crazy? That's not crazy.
Yes, it's insane.
Kilauea,
a volcano?
The Kilauea stopped erupting 2 months before we got to Hawaii and started erupting 2 months after we left. And I was depressed.
I know a lot of therapists. You can
talk about my volcano issues.
All you bucket list wanting to watch a rocket land. Bucket list? Okay. This one says, I would like to feel the financial benefits from the $1 million that was donated. Are you at UB? You're studying science?
Go try to feel the financial benefits from large anchor projects in the Bahamas.
I'm trying to figure out.
Go feel that.
I am not marveled by anything. My concern about SpaceX is who benefits from it. Dropping a space object in Bahamian waters? Who was paid for this to happen in our waters? Tell Chester, which one? This one here? To shut up. Why do people go out there to sell T-shirts? It's pathetic.
If you ask me, I don't think the booster made it to space. In air quotes, but anyway.
So it's a scam.
The edge of space. The edge of the earth.
So
I think they call it a re-entry burn just because it's kind of re-entering another part of the atmosphere, but I don't think the booster ever goes to space.
So it was
not outer space as you think about outer space.
Elaborate slingshot in history, that's what you're saying?
Absolutely.
From Florida to the waters of the Bahamas?
Absolutely.
Just pyong and up and down? Okay. Wow.
Because I see the people who posting about radiation. This one's like, where's your radiation pills? You're going to need them. For what?
That caller is making a good point. I think space stuff is cool, but I don't feel like the government has done their due diligence about any kind of MOU or environmental mitigation should something happen. Also feels a bit like Elon Musk's imperialism light. But, imperialism light. Wow, okay.
What? Like light?
Imperialism junior? Junior? Diet imperialism? Yeah. I was on a Zoom call and several people were like, what's that bomb? Then I went to Facebook and I saw people asking the same thing. Yeah, we were all in shock. Like I told my mom later, I tried to find out what happened and she called me, did you find out what happened? I said, I don't know. I just saw some lights. But we now know it was a sonic boom and 19 more. Over what period? How many more of these?
The course of the year.
Oh, boy. So we'll know the schedule, right? And we'll all be able to prepare.
More than likely.
Everybody, it's going to start. We're going to feel the boom soon.
Well, not within 3 days, because the Falcon 9 booster is going to take that long just to get back to Cape Canaveral.
Okay. Nice. Get your heart pills ready, folks. Chester, you have to use conflation and convolution to make a point. You have already lost the argument for or against. This is, I guess, you bring up the plain stuff.
Oh, me?
Have an evidence-based debate. Oh, wow. Okay.
What evidence?
Boy, Chester's real defensive about SpaceX. What's happening?
I'm real defensive about common sense.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. I think we need to take a break on that note. It's good exposure for the Bahamas, but will Bahamians benefit from this? Split the $1 million among the struggling and poor people here in the Bahamas.
Oh, that ain't gonna go nowhere.
No, they're doing it with education, trying to get more people interested in this kind of stuff.
Well, I think $1 million between people going these days.
Not in 2025.
No, sir.
But anyway, exciting stuff. We're going to be back after the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Boom, see young girl, wind your waist. Get ready for the countdown. We heading Captain Kirk, come aboard my rocket ship. Buckle up, let's ride. Get ready for the lift. I want to show you what the planets. Fly you to the moon. I want to send you into warp drive into the twilight zone. I want to orbit around Uranus. Open up the hatch. See if any life down there, any crab I can catch. Cause I'll always be a Bahamian gal. Anywhere I go, eating plenty crab fat and marching up some dough. Gal, we heading in deep space. We taking Rick and Spray. Yes, we heading in deep space. We taking Rick and Spray. Look here, young boy got plenty action. Old boy know how to pace. Get ready for the blast off. We heading in deep space. Yes, man! Let's go! Don't get lost in there now. Go! Woo! Oh, let's go! Check this! We flying round Jupiter, not too long past bars. I won't ring you just like Saturn, gal, make you see stars. I come in for a landing, making my approach. Somebody eating in the cockpit, man, all I see is them little Bahamian roach. Look, I won't be no track star, I won't win no race. I just want to be the first Bahamian to get in outer space. Imagine a house on the moon, one nice little clapboard shack, 2-foot cake in the front yard and one outside toilet and back. We heading in deep space. We taking Rick and Spray. Yes, we heading in deep space. We taking Rick and Spray. Look here, oh gal, throw that boomsy, young gal, wind your waist. Get ready for
this
the countdown.
Is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
RBC. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. And now it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. We've got shower activity linked with a weakening front and its prefrontal trough. It's going to slowly shift northwards. A re-strengthening subtropical ridge is going to build, and that's going to bring a short period of above normal temperatures and stability. But a low that's developing in the Gulf of Mexico is going to drag a stronger cold front across Florida, and that's going to approach the northern Bahamas beginning tomorrow and for the rest of the week. So changes are coming once we get over this bit of heat that we're going to see over the next couple of days. So there is a moderate risk of rip currents affecting Atlantic exposures and a slight chance of waterspout activity across the northern Bahamas. Beachgoers and operators Small craft operators should exercise caution in these areas. So for today, we're looking at partly sunny conditions for most areas. About a 10% chance of showers for most of the day today. High temperatures around 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 69, 70 Fahrenheit, 21 Celsius. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Thursday, partly cloudy in the northern Bahamas, becoming increasingly cloudy towards the evening, turning mostly cloudy at night, partly sunny elsewhere, turning partly cloudy at night in the northwest Bahamas, and mostly fair across the Central Islands. For Friday, expect a mix of sun and clouds in the southeast Bahamas, turning mostly fair at night, mostly cloudy elsewhere through the night. And then Saturday, mostly cloudy and windy with a 20 to 30% chance of showers. By then, that front is going to move through. We're looking at highs in the upper 70s, finally lows in the low 60s. And that pattern will hold for a couple of days at the end of the weekend into the beginning of next week. That is your morning blend weather check, brought to you also by Easy Car Sales. Looking to spark something special this month of love? We'll take a test drive in the hottest electric vehicles in the market from Easy Car Sales during the month of February and enter to win a 2-night stay at the Grand Hyatt with a $500 resort credit. Visit easy242.com and start a new romance with an electric vehicle from Easy Car Sales. And we've got a check of your traffic brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. Some roadworks to tell you about. Cowpen Road, beginning at Faith Avenue and heading west. We're expecting that work to continue weekdays between 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. through Monday, March 3rd. You're asked to avoid the area if you can or follow the posted traffic signs. In your real-time traffic right now, we are seeing, as usual, heavy traffic in a number of spots, including Milo Butler Highway from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout straight through to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. That's in northbound lanes there. Traffic is backed up along Fire Trail, both directions. And Faith Avenue also seeing some heavy traffic northbound at this hour. Then we've got Tawny Williams-Darling Highway seeing traffic both directions heading towards that roundabout. Looking busy for you right now. Then we've got Blue Hill Road, heavy traffic for you near Carmichael, straight up to Independence Drive if you're heading northbound. Over on Gladstone Road, also slow-moving traffic northbound from the Fire Trail intersection all the way up to John F. Kennedy Drive and Bahamar Boulevard. Elsewhere, we've got Prince Charles Drive, and heading into Robinson Road, you're going to be seeing that slow-moving westbound traffic there. From Soldier straight up to Marathon, East-West Highway, mainly westbound. Soldier Road northbound also seeing some slow-moving traffic north of that intersection on the way to Village Wolf and Bernard Road. Not looking bad for you on Eastern Road. Some schools are closed for midterm, so looking pretty smooth out there for you. But in downtown Nassau, we're seeing some slow-moving traffic on Bay Street. And West Bay Street, just east of Arawaki, near Arawak, near Nassau Street, also seeing slow-moving traffic there. That's your real-time traffic. And your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
RBC. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
Pinder is carrying a new line of tile. the Sky series of porcelain. It comes in 4 colors: Sky Noir, Sky Azure, Sky Gris, and this one, Sky Glance. In this particular tile, I think you'll find coin gray, silver gray, cloud gray, and gray. All of these are seamlessly blended to make the Sky Glance one beautiful tile. The Sky series of porcelain comes in 2 formats, 24 by 24 at $5.30 a square foot and 12 by 24 at $5.25 a square foot.
Are you ready to elevate your day with a burst of flavor? Look no further than Dunkin', your ultimate destination for everything delicious. From our freshly brewed coffee that is sure to pick you up, to our signature frozen beverages that will cool you down. And don't forget our mouth-watering sandwiches, made to order all day. Dunkin' has it all. And of course, our lineup of fresh donuts, muffins, and more. Dive into a world of yummy flavors at Dunkin' and bring joy to your day. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Now let me see now. 326 ETIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from around the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
Spain sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner with increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools. Take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
On Saturday, February 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m., the Bahamar Convention Center will set the stage for an unforgettable celebration of 25 years of giving back and supporting healthcare education in the Bahamas. Experience a night of excitement with exquisite fine dining, captivating live entertainment, and an inspiring atmosphere as we come together to celebrate and shape a brighter, healthier future. Tickets are available now. Reserve your spot today by emailing dhfoundation@doctorshosp.com or calling 242-302-4640. Sponsorship opportunities are also available to show your support for this important cause. The Doctors Hospital Maya Rassin Foundation. 25 years of transforming healthcare and building a legacy. Don't miss this special celebration.
Are you ready to break up with your car? Easy Car Sales invites you to fall in love with an electric vehicle. Ditch the gas pump, the expensive mechanics. Feel the freedom, the power. Visit easy242.com and make a date to test drive an electric vehicle today. Get into a better relationship. Find your perfect match at Easy Car Sales and drive electric happily ever after.
Attention, valued customers of the Water and Sewage Corporation. We wish to inform you that our office at the Mall of Marathon will be closing on Friday, February 28th, 2025. But don't worry, we are making it easy for you to continue managing your accounts with us from the comfort of your home or on the go. We encourage you to take advantage of our convenient digital payment options. Visit our website at wsc.com.bs to make payments securely. Call us at 302-5630 to pay by phone, or use your preferred financial institution to pay directly. Switching to these online options helps you save time and ensures you never miss a payment. We are here to make your experience as smooth and easy as possible. Thank you for being a valued customer, and we look forward to serving you in new ways.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas then.
The love is really, really strong in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves. Yes, real talk. I'm not just saying this Real talk. to impress myself. We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted to come in Sherwin-Williams because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our other wonderful staff members. We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they could choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I gonna get this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams, Bahamas, and you'll surely find color in every day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And changing gears this morning, we are talking about the upcoming National Women's Symposium. Here to give us details about this, very pleased to welcome back to the show. It's been a while. She's now the chair of the National Women's Advisory Council, Sharmi Farrington. And we also have, welcome, good to see you. Always a pleasure.
Here, Dwight, always.
And we have with us as well from the council, we have Sophia Williams, and we have from the Ministry of Social Services, Lynn Simonet. Lynn, good to see you as well. Sophia, nice to meet you. Great to have all of you with us. Okay, so just before we get into that, let people know about the National Women's Advisory Council. What exactly is that council all about?
Yes, thank you very much. Good morning, Bahamas. It's my pleasure to be here always on Morning Blend, and I have an opportunity to come. It's my pleasure to say that we, the National Women's Advisory Council, is under the ministerial responsibility of the Ministry of Social Services, Information, and Broadcasting. And so with that said, let me say good morning to my honorable minister who may be listening this morning. Good morning, Minister. Trust you are well. And of course, to our hardworking Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Phaedra Ramming. Thornquist, good morning, ma'am. Our advisory council, really, Dwight, is responsible for advising the minister on a number of legislation that he may need advice for. It's advisory, as I said, in terms of we provide advice. Okay, and we also help the ministry with any type of services that lend support to the ministry carrying out their mandate. And so towards this and our very first initiative, of course, of a national nature is the National Women's Symposium scheduled for February 22nd. That's this Saturday from 10 to 3.
So this is your first initiative?
The first national initiative.
So
right.
the advisory, how long has it been in place?
The advisory council has been in place for a number of years, of course, but for this term, we have been appointed since, I believe, it retroactive to June, but we've literally taken office in September.
Okay.
And so this is our first, this term, initiative, national initiative. I'm glad you mentioned and asked me about how long it's been around, because what we are doing during the symposium is giving recognition and honor to some of those persons who would have served past advisory chair. I say this position, of course, is a labor of love. It's a volunteer service to your national country. You know, it's a national service. So we do it not for pay, let me say. I'm pleased to say that the cabinet has named, of course, some of our members are, and I just want to say hello to them. Of course, our deputy chair, who is Ms. Patrice Ashwood McDonald. And then, of course, we have Mrs. Maudlene Smith Cooper, and of course, Pastor Moxie, and a number of other women who comes from other women organizations. And so we together give advice to the minister or lend services where needed. But let me quickly add that having come to this chair, we've had a number of volunteers who are there are a number of Bahamians who want to serve their country. They do so because there's a call to national service. They are not necessarily looking for pay. And so we've been able to build, outside of the cabinet recommended persons, another 25 volunteer women, to whom Ms. Williams is one of them.
All right.
And so what we are doing, Dwight, is galvanizing women to deal with women affairs in the country. So
Are
yes.
any men on the council?
Sorry?
Any men on the council?
We do have a men's desk at the ministry. It's headed by Pastor James. And so, of course, we welcome the men. We are in this nation building together. And I often make the point that women, we are not trying to usurp men's authority. We're literally understanding that we are partners, that we have a nation to build, and we must build it together. We must hold on and build it together.
So what are some of the issues that you provide advice for?
Actually, a number of legislation falls under the advisory council. For instance, we're now looking at the Protection Against Violence Act. That will be extensively examined. You know that it has been passed, so we have a special closed session. We have a special session dealing with that act itself with a view, Dwight, of providing advice to the government on the rollout of the act. I've been making the point that when laws are passed, sometimes it's very easy for us to think that laws passed today, right? And so tomorrow it's going to, but there is a rollout process. And that process must be carefully considered. And no law is perfect. That is why we have the amendment process and all of those things. And so what we want to do, and I always, as an attorney myself, I always say we need to be very careful how we pass laws, because sometimes we can pass laws and we find that in actuality, when we try to roll it out, it's not practical.
Right.
So we need to be very deliberate and careful how we roll out. So what we're doing, we're bringing together all of the stakeholders. Will be in that room, representative from the Crisis Center, representative from the Attorney General, representatives from Zonta, and all of the key players will be in that room. We want to hear from them, because to offer sound advice to our minister, we must hear what these stakeholders are saying. And so we've designed this symposium to deal with that act in particular. Another act is the Child Protection Act, and all these other things. And there are a number of stakeholders involved. It's not just the Ministry of Social Services. When you're dealing with the Mental Health Act, you're talking about the Ministry of Health. And so it's very important that we bring all of these stakeholders together so that we can all talk, Dwight, this symposium is not a formal as such setting, because oftentimes when we go, we're being addressed. So the symposium is really designed to have a conversation, interaction with women, other women. So the ordinary women who normally do not have an opportunity to come into a hotel, because when you get into a hotel, you're now considering costs. You're now considering like maybe you'll only have 150 women that you can afford. We didn't want that. We wanted a forum whereby the ordinary women from Camp Road, from Angleton, where I was raised, and all those things, they can come into, they can walk in, and it's free, Dwight, free of charge. So there's no impediment. It's on a Saturday, so you don't have to have your boss telling you, no, you can't go, or you're only there for an hour. We have other empowerment sessions that we are going to be dealing with. Some very provocative topic, Dwight, women in the pulpit, in order or out of order. These are the things that we know. We hear every day challenges.
That's controversial now?
Yeah, that's controversial.
I mean, so many.
Yeah. So many people believe that women should not be preaching.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? So we're going to be
so many women preaching,
yes,
though.
of course. And then we're going to be dealing with, of course, the role of the women in the family. We're going to be dealing with the business and entrepreneurial section. How do women thrive in business? We have a lot of single parents. They need income. How do they survive? How do they build their business ground up? So we have very competent women who will be there addressing these issues. Another issue we'll be talking about is menopause. health and wellness, menopause. You know, that's a challenge for a lot of women. It affects how we relate. Because 1 minute, Dwight, you can be talking to a woman and we can be speaking very calmly. And the next 10 minutes, you can meet a very different personality. These are issues that really affect women. And so we want women from across this island and across the country. We'll be live streaming to all of our family islands to come in on Saturday. It's free. We will be providing lunch. And so we want to make sure that you spend a day with the National Women's Advisory Council and, of course, our ministry, the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, and, of course, the Department of Gender and Family.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you don't have to sign up. You just show up?
You show up. We will have the registration desk there. You just sign up, say which organization you're from or which. However, you can just put your name. There's no impediment. It's open to all women. And so you can come in and join us.
Yeah.
And men, of course.
And men as well.
Are welcome.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
We are all partners in this together.
All right. So what are you hoping will be the outcome of this? At the end of the day on Saturday,
Of course.
What are your objectives?
Well, the objective is, firstly, to have a considered approach to the rollout of the Violence Act, the Protection Against Violence Act, where we will have the advice and information for our minister as to how to go about rolling out this act. We hope to have and to give our minister reasonable and doable timelines, to set timelines as to the proponents or in the act, what the act is calling for. It's important for us that we stress it out, that we don't just say, okay, well, appoint the commissioners, for example. We want to, when we go to the minister, we want to have suggested names. Women in that room, the experts in the area will have an idea as who has the expertise, who should comprise that commission. So we want to deal with things like that. And then, of course, overall, what we want to do is empower women, to inspire them, to give them information, like how do you deal with menopause? What vitamins do you take? What exercise do you do? We are tabling this thing. Let's move. Let's move. Okay. We know that our foremothers in the suffragette movement, they had an agenda. They got the right to vote. What is the next movement for the women? These are things that we're going to be discussing in our political panel. The CEDAW sustainable goal calls for 30%, a minimum of 30% women around the table. So how do we get there? And so we're going to have the politicians closing us out, talking about getting more women around the table. How do we get them around the table? So we are looking forward to having a very galvanized movement of women. We have received very, very great response thus far. The women are calling. This, I think, Dwight, you will see emerging from this national symposium, a more galvanized women community. Women will feel appreciated, feel like they are equal partners around. We know that we have international obligation, but what about the national women? Sometimes what women want could be different from what the international community. So we have to survey our national women, which we will be doing at the symposium. What are the top 10 national issues that you think our government should be addressing? You see? So we honor our international obligation and we are serious about them, but let's also, charity begins at home. Let's deal with home first. So it is great always when we know what our women want and to bring them together.
You hear the passion.
Get a little closer, Lynn.
Passion, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I just want to say kudos out to
Get a little closer to that mic there.
Shami Farrington, who is doing an excellent job leading the National Women's Advisory Council. So we're very happy to be working along. And, she mentioned that there are going to be a myriad of topics and issues that are going to be addressed and discussed at the symposium. And I just want to encourage persons to come out. There have been persons in the trenches for many, many years. She talked about some of the past advisory council persons and chairs. I think the first chair was Mrs. Judy Munro. Most of you would know who was the CEO of Coca-Cola, I think it was, back there in 1985. So it's been many, many years that the Advisory Council has been around working closely with the Department of Gender. We've not always been a Department of Gender. Of course, you would remember the Women's Desk that was established in 1981, way back then, coming out of the international or the decade for women that was from 1976 to 85. So a lot of work has been done, and a lot of issues that faced women way back then are still the same issues that face our women today. So we need all hands on deck. You may have been in the forefront before, may have taken a back seat. We want you to come forward again. Persons who are considered retired, quote unquote, come on out. Join yourself to an organization. Intern with one of the groups. There is much work to be done.
Yeah.
Do you find younger women are feeling the strain and the struggle that you're talking about and kind of joining with you guys on this?
Yes, let me answer that. Yeah, very much so. Even at the symposium, we're going to have a young panel of queens who are going to be sharing the teen galaxy pageantry. They will be out in full force. There will be a session where all of the queens, 3 or 4 of them, they will be addressing the women on their platform. One of their platform, of course, is mental health. And so they will be speaking to the women at large. So that's going to be a very exciting panel where we have the teen queens come out and they will be sharing on their platform. The intent is, of course, to have this annually. So this is a forum whereby the issues as they evolve, that they will be, Shami Farrington may be long gone, but the hope is that the women, the framework will be there for other women to join. And Sophie will tell you about our exhibition. We have women, we almost oversubscribed because they're going to be there, and I'll let her speak to that.
Exhibition too. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Tell us about that, Sophie.
Good morning. Good morning, Dwight. Yes, we have an oversubscription of vendors for the event. As a matter of fact, we've got 35 in total.
Okay.
I hope that they can all fit into Bahamas Harvest. We're hoping. Of course, we have the Ministry of Health. Health and Wellness team will be there doing the screenings. We've got Kalina Insurance, Brown Insurance. We also have Fidelity Bank and Commonwealth Bank. And we've got Eugene DePuge Law School. Principal Galanis and her team will be there as well. And we have we have the Royal Bahamas Police Force Domestic Violence Unit, the Foam Inc., as well as Straw Inc., the pilot, and Zonta Clubs, the Bahamas Christian Council will be in the house. We've got Civil Society, the Community Affairs Division, the National Disabilities Council. We also have some persons in business, the Health and Wellness Management, Shaking Healthy Products. We in the house, Lavender Room. She does massages, mobile massage. We've got Elaine White, who will be there in the room with her apparel. Miss Sarah will be dealing with the baths and soaps and candles, etc. Katie Williamson will be selling her straw and sisal products. Barbara Johnson, her jewelry and handkerchiefs, and so many, many others. The Bahamas Development Bank will be in the house. Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. So we have 35 in total. Wow. It's oversubscribed. And so we have not only the sessions, the open sessions, dealing with finance and dealing with the CDR and dealing with the health and wellness, and the closed session, which is for the purpose of discussing the act in detail. But we will have time when persons can just go and interact with all of these various vendors, purchase some goods, perhaps get the information that will be readily available, and just, interact with one another. So we are looking forward to
and
Saturday.
All of this is one day.
All of this is one day. It is power-packed. And we're just inviting everyone, whether you're a male or whether you're a female, whether you're young or whether you're a little bit older, whether you've been in the trenches or whether you're just trying to get involved, come on down, support this National Women's Symposium. As I said a couple of days ago, this is an historic event. In modern times, this is an historic event because we're bringing everyone together from different levels, from different backgrounds, because we have so many more things in common than not. We all face these same issues, whether you're a professional woman such as a lawyer, a doctor, or whether you are a budding entrepreneur, whether you're a student or whether you are at the university, at the Bahamas University, wherever you are in your walk, we are facing the same kinds of events as females, as males, as children. So we just want you to come on down, check us out, come early and register. And as Ms. Farrington said, lunch will be included, so you need not worry about that. And of course, coffee, tea, etc. will be available throughout the day as well.
Yeah. I want to ask something. Charmaine said it earlier that women sometimes feel they're not a part of the discussions. Let's explore that some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us more about that.
Yes, because of course, if we are really honest, Dwight, of course, and it's not just incidental to the Bahamas. I dare say the Caribbean. We live in a very patriarchal society where male dominance is evident, and so oftentimes I think we feel like even when we go out in the streets, we hear the talk that, women's place is just in the home. You shut up and you wait to speak until you're asked. And it's a lot of times it's because of the lack of education.
Still today?
Yes. I mean, if we are being honest, I'm from the church and I move around a lot in various different places. And of course, we have a lot of professional women. You hear from us. Yes, you do hear from us. And it could give the tendency to believe that, yes, all is well, but all is not well. If we are being honest with ourselves, we still have a lot of work to do, and that comes from education, being able to move out of our offices, being able to come out of the hotels, as I've said to my team, and getting in the community, so that these women who are in the community, sitting in the homes and just feel like all hope is lost.
Do you feel that's more of a problem with, I don't know how to put this, but with church people, or is it across the board?
I think literally, I would say across the board, from my travel, I'm an outreach person. So I tell people I have a very good idea of going into the community. Professional women, we don't have a problem with, because most of our public service is run by female professionals. So there we don't. In our parliament, we still have some work to do, because we only have 18% and not the minimum 30%. So we have to have movement there. As you go out into the community, literally, as an evangelist, I'm an ordained evangelist. You move into the communities, you go door to door, you meet females just sitting there, literally, and you ask them nothing to do. That's how they feel. Wow. And a lot of times, I think we are not reaching these people. And this is the reason why we wanted to have a symposium where the ordinary women can just feel that they can come in. Oftentimes, Dwight, when I'm speaking to women, and they say, we're not coming with them highfalutin, them people ain't checking for us. This is the language, if we are being honest. They ain't checking for us. They have their own thing going on, and we have our own thing going on. So there's a disconnect to some degree. And so we have to find ways to come out from. This is why we have these exhibitions. So women can come in, they can feel a part, they can walk in. They don't have to feel like, let me get real, Dwight. The women in Camp Road, some of them don't have no computer to go online to be registering. That's a reality. Mm-hmm. So if we're going to put an impediment there and say you have to register, or you have to, no, they're not going to do that. But if we say to them, listen, you can just walk in, you can just come. You don't have to have this, I said, stoic type environment, or where people feel fussy and they just got to be formal and they got to watch where they walk and all that kind of stuff. We didn't want the symposium to be like that. We wanted the symposium to be a mechanism where the ordinary women meet the professional women, the elite meet the not so elite, and the have-nots have an opportunity to all come in and share and gel.
And that's an important point she made. Mm-hmm. Women who feel that they do not have a voice, this is a platform for you to be able to speak up. Right. We want persons to have a voice. And many people many women feel that they do not have a voice, or they may be alone in their situations. And we know the situations that affect women. Violence is only one of them.
Absolutely.
Right? And if you are in a situation, even if it's in a home or whether it's in the workplace, we know that discrimination and we know that abuses happen, right? But we want women to be able to speak up. And if you are a woman who speaks for other women, encourage those women to speak up. When you have a voice, I heard someone say that when they found their voice, they will never be silenced again. So we're encouraging women to be a part of these platforms and these forums where you can speak your mind, and then the issues will be addressed.
Absolutely.
So that's a very important point that you raised.
This text line gives me headaches every day. Why read it? But I think you need to hear what
Yes, of course.
folks are
That's
saying.
it.
Right? This text here. By the time these women's groups are finished marginalizing men, I wonder what their end goal will be.
Well, again, it is worthwhile repeating that we are not here to marginalize men. We're here to work with men. And let's be clear, there are different functions for women, and that's why one of the things we are discussing is the role of the women in the family. And I think what people do, we tend to take the family scenario and try to fit that all over the disciplines. But let me say this, I always smile because I tell people in the home, the man is the leader. We don't challenge that. Certainly I don't challenge that. However, when we come to the workplace, we're talking about Aquila, let me get biblical, and Priscilla, all right? So women in the workplace, they were always working together. Okay, and so I think sometimes when we're talking about our role in different disciplines, men tend to think that we're talking about in the home. We're not talking necessarily in the home alone, because there is a role for man and women in the home. We're not here to interfere with that relationship between husband and wife or man and woman in the home. Our job is to equip women to be able to exist in any situation, whether it's the home, whether it's the job, out in the marketplace. That is what we're here to do. And so, of course, we are not here to be superior citizens. That is so important. We are here to hold our man hand and to walk together to build this nation. And so we are encouraging men. And there is a men's desk in the Ministry of Gender and Family Affairs. There is a men's desk. So there's equal emphasis on men and women. And so we are not trying to push the men or women. There's equal representation around the table in the ministry.
To be honest, we cannot be successful if the men are not working side by side with us.
Right.
It is very important that we have men allies the agenda of women's issues. If the men are not there, we will not be as successful as we need to be.
Yeah.
So we are calling the men to stand up with the women to accomplish these goals.
Yes.
Except that texter, he would hate that.
No.
Well, maybe he just doesn't understand.
Yeah, I think, I go to education. And I think sometimes what happens is some voices of some women group are perhaps louder than others. And so sometimes men may miss the messages of the other groups because they're listening to perhaps one particular prominent women group who are maybe agitating for a certain action or and they paint that photo of the entire women populace. Every women group have a right to advocate for what they think they believe to be right or is needed in the country. We, as the National Women's Advisory, have the role of advising the Minister on Women Affairs in the country, and that includes, as Lynn said, a number of issues for which violence may only be one. You have disparity in income. So many other issues that affects women that sometimes get lost, going right back to that, sometimes get lost, sometimes get overlooked. And so there is this disconnect because then we feel like, okay, maybe only the 18% women in the parliament, the 7 women in the parliament, maybe only them are important. And so what we're saying in this national symposium, no, every woman deserves to have a seat at the table and have their voice heard.
Yeah. All right, so I just want to read this text. We're running out of time, but this person says here, As a men's rights advocate, I have never once said that a woman's place is in the kitchen and that she shouldn't preach. Where is the narrative your guest cited coming from? Is it other women saying that? Because I haven't heard men say those things. Well, I don't know where you've been, because we hear this from men all the time.
Yes, we do.
Dwight has plenty of texters that say those things.
We have, listen, we have many areas of controversy, whether it affects men or women. There are issues that affect men that are controversial that women say about men, and vice versa.
Yeah.
However, we must never shy away from having hard conversation, and I think that lends itself to the problem, because a lot of time we disguise our problem rather than just looking at, putting it on the table. Let's put this squarely on the table and address it. All right, so what we're trying to do in the National Symposium, based on what we're hearing or based on what our women are saying to us they are concerned about, or issues that they think need to be addressed. We do that. We do have more enlightened men, if I may use that term. We do have men who support women. We do have men who never have, and kudos to the male who's writing that. We thank him very much, because he's of a certain view, which we applaud. But there are many men out there, whether it's in the church, whether it's in the home, whether it's even in the workplace. Some men don't feel that their wife should work at all. And we do not have a problem with that. You understand? But we're saying where persons are working, we as an organization, as a council, have an obligation or is committed to assisting them and giving them the practical skills that they need to thrive.
Yeah. All right. One more time, remind folks about the symposium, what they need to do, the hours. It's 10 to
3 p.m., February 22nd. That's in the day, February 22nd at Bahamas Harvest Church. And we just want to encourage all of the women under the Song of Ours and our men, including the gentleman who said he's a man advocate. We hope to see him there. And bring your family, because we are Gender and Family Affairs. So come on down, bring your children, especially the young women. We need to include them, bring them.
I know you want people to show up, but will it also be live streamed at all?
It will be live streamed. We'll be live streaming to all of our family islands, and we're taking measures also to include, perhaps have a remote. Maybe the Guardian will help us with that. Hint, hint.
We'll talk.
We thank the Guardian for this morning, by the way. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. Charmy Farrington, Lynn Simonet, and Sophia Williams, thank you so much for being here this morning. Again, the symposium is Saturday at Bahamas Harvest Church. That's JFK Drive. And great stuff. And International Women's Day is coming up as well. Happy International Women's Day to you and to everybody.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
seeing
you so
all.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
We're going to break for news and be back with the Morning Blend Business and our friends from Bristol when we get back. Stay with us.
I will try to express my inner feeling and thankfulness for showing me the meaning of success.
With escalating global conflicts, are you ready for what's next? Join us at RF Bahamas Economic Outlook on March 12th at Bahamar, where top global and local experts will break down the key economic, political, and social trends shaping our future. Hear from KT McFarland, former Trump National Security Advisor, and more. Plus, gain CPD credits, powerful insights, and high-impact networking all in one day. Don't miss out. Secure your spot now at rfbeo.com. That's rfbeo.com. RF Bahamas Economic Outlook. See you there.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice. It's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello. This Epic Eckert battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326-EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
I've been up at Pinda and I meet him in the showroom. I said, Pinda, I just come out of a showroom in Portugal and let me tell you something. Damn showroom and selection ain't got nothing on yours. Man, I like this stock of porcelain and ceramic tile you got here. What I really like is the range of sizes that come in. 8 by 48, 12 by 24, 24 by 24. And what I really, really like more than the things I really like is the price. From $275 a square foot to $494 a square foot and all in between. You can't beat that. Not even with a 2x4 from Enterprises.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, March 9th. Oh my goodness, it's February, right? February. I'm living.
You reached March already?
Whoa, the year. Might as well say it's 2026. February 19th, 2025. Welcome back to Morning Blend listeners. It is February, yes. This is Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards, and it's time for our favorite series of every month with Bristol Wines and Spirits. We've got Kyle Stubbs, we've got Toure Saunders, we've got Zina Williams, and they've got a special guest this morning as well. Kyle, you've been given instructions on how to introduce, so I'm going to leave it to you to introduce our special guest this morning.
Absolutely. So this is our second year in a running now, where between January and February, we had the distinguished pleasure of having this gentleman join us. And he is responsible for the global development of, on our side of the world, the strongest rosé brand. And so he's here just literally 24 hours, landed yesterday and is leaving this afternoon just to make sure that we are still in line with the business. And so I have with me Philippe Souche from Chateau Minuty. All right, and so everybody knows Minuty, and everybody has been drinking rosé wine, and we've been seeing the improvements and the increases in numbers. And so he's just here to make certain that Minuty is to the top of our mind, especially as the temperature starts to warm up and we drink a little bit more rosé.
Wow.
And so
It's been a hot February. You could drink it now, right?
Yeah, it's interesting February.
Yeah,
Some of these
crazy.
nights have been cold and wet, and then the days have been
Very
warmer
warm.
than usual.
The mango trees say it's time to drink rosé.
Always time.
Very much so. But so he's here with us for the day. We go into our business review afterwards. But we're just here to have a conversation and to taste some Minuty, and have a conversation about the world of rosé wines through the eyes of Chateau Minuty.
Okay. Philippe, welcome to the Bahamas. Welcome to Morning Blend Business. Great to have you.
Thank you very much for your welcome. I'm very happy to be here with you. I love your country and I love your culture, and I love to see my wine everywhere in the best places. And let's try it.
Yeah, we can't wait. We can't wait. You've been here just a couple minutes. We can tell you are a fun guy. You're a lot of fun to be around. But this is wonderful. So tell us about Minuty. Tell us about you and your role in it as well.
So going back to the Rosé de Provence, the thing, really important thing is to know that the Provence is for rosé wine in the world what is Champagne for sparkling.
Okay.
It means it is a reference. And the second point is Provence is the only region in the world where the production of rosé is more than 50% of the total.
Oh wow!
Including white and red, for sure. You know, so those two points are really important. The Provence became better and better for years, but in the last 30, 40 years, it explodes. So right now, Minuty is a family business. It was born in 1935.
Wow!
So it's a really long family story, and but it became like trendy or not trendy, elegant in the trendy places. That's the word. In the last like 30, 20 years. So now the brand is distributed. The family, the Maton family, so owns Minuty from 1935, and today the Minuty, the brand is distributed in these 140 countries in the world.
Wow.
And it started in Saint-Tropez because the center of Minuty is Gassin. Gassin is just at the back of Saint-Tropez, Ramatuelle. And you know Ramatuelle is one of the nicest beach in the world with all the beach clubs and so on. So our friend restaurant owners there and beach club owners started to sell Minuty because it was a local production and they wanted to help the region. And that's what we did perfectly. And like the summer season is really short in the south of France, on the French Riviera.
Okay.
And people, when they are tired in October, they want to go and rest. So they went to rest at the beginning in Miami, in Dubai, in Saint-Barthélemy, in French Alps also. And at the end, they were not able to rest for a long time. They started some beach clubs business or big terrace restaurants for the French Alps and everywhere in the world. So they took Minuty with them.
Okay.
And we took the opportunity to follow them during the winter because it's cold in France, like you know, so it's much better to be here. It was 0 when I left Paris yesterday. It was 0. Okay. So we took this opportunity to follow our friends and customers and make Minuty bigger and bigger and show the world that it's always a good idea to have a glass of
Have it around, yeah, absolutely. Wow. All right. So I guess you can say Provence is the rosé capital of the world then.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay. Exciting stuff.
So now we are going to taste the M de Minuty. So this one is a door opener for the brand.
So, Kyle, before we taste it, tell us about what sets from your expert palate Minuty apart from other rosés.
I think besides, so we have 3 of the 4 levels from Minuty. We used to have the 281, which was super luxe. But I think these are not pretentious, right? You will realize, especially when we drink the second one, how easy and clean it is to be drunk. But then you'll also be able to taste the difference when we get to the Minuty or where we get a little bit more serious and a little bit more complexity that comes through on the Minuty or. But I mean, just looking at the bottling, each one of these bottles have a different shape, a different look, a different appeal. And then, through this conversation, we'll have an understanding as to what's a little bit more retail friendly, what's, by the glass in some good restaurants, gastronomic restaurants, and then what's by the bottle when we have serious rosé conversations. But the North American and the European customer just gravitates towards Minuty. Nassau is really picking up on it now, but the Family Islands has been driving this conversation for years.
Really?
So all of our top resorts on the islands, all of our beachfront restaurants, they're pouring Minuty like it's, our friends at Club Med, we send them pallets of Minuty on a monthly basis.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense.
It makes complete sense. So, and we see certain restaurants that have a little bit more Mediterranean French influence. We will see more of the Minuty presence kind of thing. But this is one of the brands that people are asking for. And so when you don't see it on the wine list, people ask. Similar to another brand that people always ask for, which was a Spring Angel. But that conversation is, subsiding.
Okay.
Something important about this bottle. When we started it, like you can see, it looks like a woman.
Right. Yeah. The Coke bottle shape.
But we did this shape in I think it was in the 60s or 70s, but very thin in the middle to make the wine clearer.
Okay.
because the Maton family realized that the clearer you are, the lighter you make people imagine. So particularly for the woman, they wanted a very clear, because
Lighter.
when it's clear, it's light. On the other side, we also put a big priority on the percent of alcohol within the bottle. Minuty is always 12.5. We try to do never more.
Okay.
Because it means you can have Minuty all day and you become happy, but you never become drunk.
Right.
So you can order 6 bottles. When you go to the restaurant, it's not a problem. When you have
So
6 people.
we always talk about responsible consumption. So one is, a drink or two. The other is the alcohol content. So on one side, we're thinking Minuty at 12.5. And the wines that we like to enjoy in this market are usually 14.5, 15% alcohol. So it's usually after 2 glasses, like, okay, I'm done. But you pop a bottle of Minuty and you realize you pop a second bottle and you're still
2-3 bottles going.
Yeah, and you're still good.
Right. All right. So you said the M is basically the entry into it.
Yeah.
So tell us about this and how this is going to be different from the next one we're going to sample.
So we have 4 SKUs at Minuty, like Kyle said. We have M, we have Prestige, we have Rosé Chateau Minuty and 281 Chateau Minuty, which means we have two SKUs from the chateau. It means 100% from our vineyard and everything. From the beginning to the end, everything is Minuty. For the M and the Prestige, it's a bit different. For the M, we have had contract for a very long time with some partners who do some wine, and we buy lot of different wine in different parts of Provence. We mix them and we do the M, mixing wines of our partners. For the Prestige, the very important difference is the same. We have also partners, but we buy some raisins. A few years ago, Minuty took the decision to buy a tool, a vinification tool, to be able to increase the volume of wine we can do on our way. Okay. So we buy some raisins. We have a contract with winemakers. We buy some raisins. We buy them some raisins, and we do 100% from the raisins.
You are saying raisins. That's what I'm hearing. Raisins. Dried grapes. Yes, raisins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me, I translate.
No. We got it. We're just trying to figure out if that's what you meant. Like, okay, wow.
So Prestige now. The strategies, the position of the different SKU is very clear. We go with M2 retail, and we mean normal on trade. When you go to like, for example, a Parisian brasserie, the SKU, the perfect SKU will be Prestige, because it's not so expensive, it's easy to drink, it's very light more time, and it's a bit more perfumed, a bit different than the M. The M is perfect to have when you're close to the pool or when you have a moment with friends. M is always perfect.
Yeah.
When you go for lunch, or when you look after something a bit different, you can go to Prestige. But the signature, the most important to know is that the signature of the Chateau Minuty is Rosé, which is for sure a bit more expensive, but with a lot of perfume. And if you go to France, if you go to Saint-Tropez, you will see Rosé and 281 nearly everywhere. But if you go to Dubai also, if you go to Saint-Barthélemy or Miami, that's our goal is to make Minuty premium, more and more premium. That's why we increase the quality. And I had a conversation last week with the owner, and he said that the 2025, the next one, is a wonderful Minuty for the Prestige and the Rosé. He's very free. He's very free to say that, because it's the first time he doesn't do himself.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So our team made an incredible job.
Nice. Very nice.
I think for the listening audience, important factors. We started off the conversation saying Provence is to rosé what champagne is to sparkling wine, right? We also always have conversations on the radio about sparkling wine and champagne, and the heavily marketed brands and the grower champagne category. So what he is expressing to us here is through these 4 SKUs, some of these wines are being produced through partnerships where we have partners who grow the grapes and we assist with vinification and everything else from them. And then the other one, which is the Minuty that we'll taste now, those grapes are grown on the chateau and then goes into the process. So it's a little bit more, we control everything when it comes to Minuty. We give the Minuty impression with our partners and our grape growing partners to get to the Minuty M and to the Prestige. But when it's the it's it's like we call it. It's estate grown, right. So it's on property. It's looked after by the Minuty family. Grape growing, grape specifics that we want when we reach the harvest. All of that is managed and controlled 100% on property by Minuty. Whereas with the M, our partners are who are growing the grapes, and then we take over and assisting with the winemaking process.
Excellent.
I've tried it.
Let's sample the M here. Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's funny that you mentioned perfume, because when I first took it to the nose, I was wondering whether I was drinking wine or eau de toilette. Because the nose is amazing. It's very nice.
Yeah. It's a little bit of red, fruit, a little bit of some floral stuff. But when those things come together, it's a very perfumey wine. It's a very aromatic.
It's very refreshing.
Very refreshing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is like juicy acid and salivation that makes you come for a second glass, or having the right seafood on the side of it. The last time Philippe was here, of course, we made a stop to Awaki, and we had some conch salad with some rosé wine. Makes complete sense.
Okay. Yeah. No,
to be honest, I'm a big fan of the conch salad.
Yeah.
and we had a conversation yesterday with a chef, and I explained that he should try to do the lobster pasta, but with the conch pasta.
Okay.
Tomato sauce.
I'm sure it should be very good.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
We also have conch in the French Antilles, in Martinique and Guadeloupe, which is called Nambi.
Nambi, yes.
That's what
It's not the same, though, right?
It's not the same.
No. I mean, it doesn't taste the same. They do it a different way.
It's the same animal, but
very different way. But yes. Okay, good stuff. So that's nice. You didn't have any, Philippe. Are you having any this morning?
Sorry.
You're focused.
Yeah, we twisted Philippe's arm to come this morning. Up until last night after dinner, Philippe said, I'm going to be late in the morning. I said no. We have a very nice listening audience. They usually show up in the Bristol store after this conversation. So let's just go have a good conversation about Minuty Rosé wine this morning.
Yeah. So the M is nice.
Very good.
I hope everybody's understanding my French accent.
Yes, you're doing very well. Very good.
I do my best. I promise you I do my best.
No, it's excellent. It's better than some English speakers around here. But good stuff. All right, so this is the step up. And Zina, can you tell us how much would the M be going for in Bristol stores?
The M is $27.95.
Okay, nice. Very good.
Thank you.
Since we have you by the mic, you might tell us about the Prestige while we have you by the mic right there. As she pours some wine there.
That's the new Zina.
Yeah.
The Prestige is $33.65.
Okay, so just a little step up in price. Good stuff. All right. So tell us about this one. What will we see with the differences between this and the M?
Yeah,
Philippe.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I did explain a part of that, but I go back to the most important thing is that we buy the grapes for Prestige, we buy the wine for M. Mm-hmm. So we buy the grapes, and our teams, wine team, they work with the wine team of our partners to make the Prestige with to share the way of working of Minuty, which means this one is as when you go to M, you have 100%. We don't have 100% of the process.
Right.
We have like 50%.
Right.
When you go to Prestige, you have 60-70%.
Okay.
When you go to the other one, we have 100%.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But the position of this one, you see the price positioning, the difference between those two SKUs is not so important.
Mm-hmm.
So most of people, when they go to Prestige, they don't go back to M. It's like when you take a plane. You know, when you go to business, you never go back to.
Well, I agree with that. This glass is amazing.
It's just.
I mean, the M was good. Prestige is best.
Great. So the Prestige, like I said, the full target is when you go to a Parisian brasserie, it's perfect to have Prestige by the glass or by the bottle.
Yeah. No, you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Everything's opened up. It feels like.
So now the positioning, because of this positioning, we put M in the retail and normal trade, and we put Prestige by the glass more in the on trade.
Right.
Okay. For the door opener.
Okay.
That's why we invested in this vinification tool to be able to increase the quantity. We started in France, but we had the limit, you know. So following this investment, we can develop this strategy all over the world with Prestige.
Wow. All right.
Have you not convinced the Kong Salad people that they're doing themselves a disservice by not having these things?
We've been trying to do that, but you know, the local beer and Kong Salad just has a hold on everybody right now.
Everybody don't drink beer.
No.
We need to change their minds.
But I would say I see some changes coming to a couple of stalls on our Waki, and we always every year have a conversation and a visit to see how we can knock on that door. So we will be knocking on that door as well. I mean, it's unfortunate because every time we carry a vendor with us to have a rosé and Kong Salad or Sauvignon Blanc Kong Salad, we have to carry Sauvignon Blanc or the rosé with us.
Right.
You know, we went for lunch yesterday and we supported the restaurant and purchased a bottle of wine. So if we were carrying Philippe on our Waki to have Kong Salad and Minuty Rosé was there, that's 4 Kong Salads right here and a bottle of Minuty Rosé.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's an ongoing conversation. Philippe always will tell us, you know, so that's why we have work to do.
Yeah.
Work to do.
Well, 242 Day is coming up, so we can help to push this message that this will be perfect with your Kong Salad on Monday coming. All right, so, and these are all available in Bristol, all over, all the Bristol stores.
These are in all Bristol stores. By the end of the week, we just re-engaged to make sure all of our independent partners know that the Prestige is back. So it'll be available inside Keg Ranch in the west, Island Wines and Spirits in the east. And we just had a good visit to our good friend Eddie Gardner at Toast on Paradise Island.
Oh, yeah.
So our main partners here on Nassau will have all 3 SKUs, all of our Bristol Express stores, Abaco and Freeport, Abaco and Exuma. We'll have these as well. And through the work that Toure and the team will do in the market over the next year plus, we should see a lot more Prestige in some restaurants here in Nassau as opposed to Abaco and Eleuthera and Exuma dominating the Minuty conversation.
You could sit down with Prestige at a restaurant and forget that you have food.
Yeah. And just keep drinking.
Just keep drinking that. It's really good.
And again, all 12%.
Yes, 12.5. Yeah.
12, okay.
We didn't talk about one important point. Is Minuty? You know, we changed the we changed the every year we have a new Minuty. You know, we do the harvest in September, and the first wine are ready at the end of the year. Okay, in December. So, for example, for your part of the world, we send those bottles, and you start to sell the new one in right before the summer. Okay, and it's good for when you have it. It's good for 1 year, 1.5 years. But the best is after 1 year. You know, if we start in December, the next December is good. So right now, the Minuty is nearly the best period to drink for you. Okay, but every year we change the millésime for sure, and it's something. It's a business. Every year we do people tasting the new one, you know, and we don't. You cannot keep a bottle of Minuty for 5 years. You can, but don't drink it. So it has to be the Rosé de Provence have to be. You have to drink them in the after 2-3 years.
Yeah,
you know,
within 2-3 years.
So is it going to taste a little bit different every year, or
yes, a little bit different every year, and a little bit different between December and the next December.
Right.
I was in Saint-Barthélemy last month, and one of my customers said we used to drink Minuty in June in France, and he said in January in Saint-Barth, he said now is much better than last summer because it's a bit older. So he's alive, this wine is alive.
Wow.
So
we always talk about wine being a living organism. So what you taste today, or even the way a wine performs in the winery, and then it's 3 months before we get it from France, shipping and everything. And if we were to bring Philippe to taste it, say, oh, it's Minuty, but it's performing a little bit different than it was 3-4 months ago. And it'll be the same thing when we said, rosé wines are made for consumption within 2 to 3 years. So, within that first 8 months to 16, 18 months is when you have Minuty in its prime. But then the living organism starts to lose some character and some factors afterwards. And then, when we speak of people like Minuty, it's about the liquid and the brand. And so when we see 2017s and 2018s on the shelves, it's, return them, can I buy it back? Because we want the people's impression of Minuty to be what is true.
And you would do that. You would buy it back.
Even in our store yesterday, we just sent some back to the warehouse that we will discount. But it's just to make sure, because the front of the customer and the retailer is what they see. And people who are serious about their rosé wine drinkings know that we're in 2025, so we're not drinking anything younger than 22, and 22 is a push.
Wow. And so this is why you talk about it a lot. How you store your wine is extremely important.
Again, we will get to 3 years of life in a rosé through proper storage. In the back trunk of our car, by this weekend it's done.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
The bottle cracked.
And the cork is coming out.
And something else, considering the French culture, something really important is a bottle of Minuty. For sure, is a bottle of wine. But on top of that, it's a moment with friends. It's a convivial moment, straight to the point. That's why now we are talking with all our customers here in Bahamas to push them to put Minuty Prestige by the glass, to make people able to taste. Because we know if you taste Minuty, you adopt, because it's you discover something, and it's very pleasant, very and you open a bottle, you're with 5 friends, and you know how it is. We call that in France convivialité. Conviviality, which doesn't exist in English, but I make it exist.
You got some things close. Yeah, we get it. Camaraderie, good times.
That's what it is. A good bottle of wine, good company, good friends, good time.
Okay.
That's what it is.
I love the color of your.
Oh, thank you. Rosé, right? All right, here we go.
So this is
Dwighty Rosé.
This is Minuty, or...
Oh, man.
I mean, that's...
I
mean, it just kept getting better. How is it possible?
Well, like he said, it's, when you move from 50% control or impact on the process to 65% to 100%. So this is everything Minuty. This is the fabric. This is the lifeline. This is the bloodline. This is a true expression, 100% of Minuty. And it just shows that although we have good partners who's giving us the wine, the juice on M, and we have good partners who's giving us some raisins on the Prestige, it's nothing like looking after your own things. And it shows in the liquid.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, it's
very
really
nice.
good.
And how much will this retail for in the store? Zina, tell us about that.
This one is $43.45.
Okay, right. So this
Absolutely.
a little step up, but it's not going to break the bank.
I mean, I see some of us drinking some wines at $160. So just including a
Why are you looking over there?
a $50 rosé, should be a thing. But again, right place, right time, right,
It's really
right
good.
occasion, and this will be enjoyed by many.
So the focus for this one, for example, in the biggest market, we can be in the very iconic places. We can take Rosier by the glass,
Yeah.
But by the bottle is when you have a bit more sophisticated kitchen, cuisine, and Rosier is always perfect. But if you take the biggest hotel, for example, the nicest palace in Paris, for example, or in Saint-Tropez, they carry Rosier by the glass.
Wow, nice.
Which is very good for me, because I always visit that sort of account, and I love this one.
Yeah, well, it's beautiful. It's beautiful stuff.
I mean, and if you were to look at all of them in a by the glass lens, you're looking at $14, $16 by the glass, $18 to $22 by the glass, and $25+ by the glass. And people, none of them are outrageous. Right. People pay $25 by the glass, and they expect something really
If
nice.
they know that, that's an easy decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But once it's appropriately priced, then why drink a glass of Minuty instead of taking the bottle?
Right.
It depends also on the country, because if you consider the level of price of the hotel bedroom, for example, in Bahamas, at the end it's not so expensive.
No, not at all.
Very rich people will never be able to drink what they can spend.
Yeah,
right.
That
So
is certainly true.
why do you want to go to M? I remember last year I was in Antigua, in a really nice hotel, and we had a tasting with 15, 20 people from the staff, really nice people, and they all went to M. So we did the same. And they all took my Instagram in the evening, and I received some message because they all sold some 281. The bedroom was $5,000 a night. So I told them, why do you go with M? Make people happy.
And that's was a part of our job, is to to have the restaurants and the hotels give good value to their customer, right? And so that's why our intent is to say good restaurants, white tablecloth restaurants. Minuty M is for the retail. Prestige elevates what it is that you're giving it, and we're talking about a $3 or $4 difference in the price that we offer to the restaurants. So you give quality and a better representation of the liquid that you're pouring, the restaurant that you stand for, and the experience that you deliver on the end. And so, we had to make sure that our retail partners are on board with Minuty M, that our on-trade partners, our white tablecloth restaurants. We had a fantastic dinner last night at Cafe Matisse, but we have to have a follow-up conversation about Minuty Prestige. Right, Philippe? There's no way we have an extensive, nice menu like we do, and our rosé offering could use some contribution. And then to our, established, really well-driven, have a following restaurants like your Carnas and your Blues and that kind of stuff, to make sure that they have this level of offering to their customer. Again, we have a lot more Europeans coming to our show, although the North Americans still drive that. But, Philippe will let you know, Minuty is the #1 French rosé brand coming out of the U.S., and we're right next door by a couple of miles. So it makes sense.
It's not surprising why. Yeah. After you taste it.
Yeah. Good stuff there.
Yeah, straight to the point.
Yeah. Indeed.
It's like the message on my phone. There's a Philippe Souche, talk after the beep. That's all.
No slapping up his feet. All right, so while we sip some more of this, you've got some events coming up over the next few weeks?
Yeah, a little bit of stuff from Bristol. It's not really 100% wine focused. We do have one wine event coming up, but Zina, let us know what we got going on event-wise.
The new Zina.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, this Friday, we are going to be at Zapadilla for an event called Forever. It's going to be both wine and spirit focused. Then next week, Tuesday, we will be at Paranza at Atlantis. We're doing the second edition of our Antinori dinner. So the first one Kyle and I went to, we tasted a few of the dishes, and they were all paired with wines from Antinori. My favorite was the palate cleanser. So if you are going, I highly recommend that.
That's what it's called?
It was a palate cleanser.
Oh, it was
and
a palate
in the palate cleanser, they included the wine.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, it was excellent. So that's coming up on Tuesday. Then we also have this Saturday is Margarita Day. So we're going to be participating in a couple outlets. Patron is going to be both at Senior Frogs, where they'll have margarita specials, and then also at Privilege Pool, where they will also have margarita specials featuring Patron.
Why is it Margaritaville? Just do you know why?
Because the internet loves cool days to eat and drink, don't you?
Sure. What is it? The history with tequila formed? Just pick a day.
I don't know the rhyme and reason behind it. It's just like we celebrate. Yesterday was National Drink Wine Day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The day before Valentine's was Condom Day.
But that makes a little
Makes sense.
though.
It might be the Marguerite Day.
But yeah, so just to echo Zina, the Paranza dinner. Certainly there's a couple of spots left, and the team at Paranza was so kind enough that even late reservations that they got on the first dinner, the day of, they were able to take. I'm not sure that they will be able to, but give Paranza a call, check out the Atlantis website. It's 6 amazing courses. It's the 2021 Tignalello from Antonori. It was given 100 points. Like Zina said, this is as much as I'm going to say. The sorbet with the grappa. Was just to die for. And based on the feedback, Paranza made 1 or 2 little alterations to the menu. The folks who join us next week, Tuesday, will have a complimentary glass to get started outside of the 6 wines that we've prepared.
Okay.
At $250 plus, you can't beat that. That's really a $400 plus dollar experience. It's the first time that Paranza is hosting wine dinners, so this will be their second edition. Yeah.
And how many can they accommodate?
Well, originally they were looking at 25, but we had about 36, 37 on our first go. So I see them going up to 40, maybe 45.
Wow.
It's right on the outside, weather permitting. Nice decor, good vibes, good conversations, and great food and wine.
Nice.
And then before our next occasion, but we'll have it posted on social media and we'll send it to Morning Blend. We'll have 2 tasting opportunities inside March. Because this will be our first for the year, one of them will be our introductory sensory experience. How do we smell and taste wine and understand where these aromas come from? We'll taste some things, some altered wines that give us an impression of higher alcohol, higher sugar content, higher acid, tannin structure, and we'll taste a few wines. And then we've welcomed into our portfolio a brand new Italian house. I'm not going to say anything else about it, but we're going to do a tasting of that house towards the end of March. And then we're back in full swing. And as opposed to last year, where we just did 1 tasting a month, we're looking at 2 tastings a month. One on the entry to mid-level, and then 1 on our luxe wines. We have maybe about 200 plus wines at about $125 plus that need some love and attention, and we have some palates in this market that love those wines. So we're going to create some occasions and some opportunities for folks to taste those wines and to purchase them.
Has it been in high demand? Is that why you're moving it up?
Yeah.
I mean, they always sell out.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, we're just creating an opportunity. We don't want to miss those folks who want to get into it, and we don't want to miss those folks who said, okay, I think I need a little bit more from it.
Yeah.
And so, we'll be doing our Chardonnay tastings, our Cabernet Sauvignon tastings, and then we'll do some Lux wine tastings from particular houses, right? So if we do a Lux wine tasting from the rosé category, then, we might ask Philippe to send us a couple of cases of 281, Rosé Aura, and then maybe a couple of other Lux rosé wines from a couple of other of our suppliers. Is the same thing. We look at the Treasury wine portfolio and taste their Lux wines. We look at the Ware Banks wine portfolio and taste their wines. We look at the Deutsch family wines and spirits, their Lux level wines. And those tastings, even if we don't have those wines in our portfolio, they'll be arranged that our partners assist us with sending in some wines. So they'll be really nice tastings. Yeah. Really, really nice. We're changing our glassware and everything for those tastings. We're stepping up the game this lap.
Nice. Because there are specific rosé glasses.
Indeed, and the thickness of the glass all gives a different display to the wine.
Absolutely.
Right? We love all of these tulip glasses, but Minuty or shouldn't be in this tulip.
All right, so we've less than a minute. I want to ask you about this. So we've talked about this before. There are people who think this is white Zinfandel or something like that, and do not understand what rosé is. And the people who love their sweet wine who will say, well, this isn't sweet enough for me. What do you say to those folks who are stuck in their boxes and haven't given rosé a shot?
We were bombarded by a mistake that became a marketing power. And now we have good friends like Minuty and Sasha Lashim at Whispering Angel who are showing us the truth of the rosé category. Right? So we got that white Zinfandel through a mistake where we had our skins and our juice together and we had a stuck fermentation. And we ended up with pink juice with a lot of sweetness in the back end. That's this American style of rosé, white Zinfandel. Even the color is completely different than what we
Right.
see in the front of us.
Yeah, very
when
much.
we look at this, again, we're talking about the champagne of rosé wines.
Yep.
When we talk about Provence, we're talking about direct press.
Right.
So minimal interaction between the juice and the skin. And so whatever color is picked up, what other floral notes, whatever acid components is picked up through that little small interaction is what shows up. So while we like to describe the color of white Zinfandels as more blush in style with that extra sugar content, these are pale salmon in color with well-balanced fruit character, acid, and a fantastic finish. And so,
It's a beautiful thing.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, give it
It's
a shot.
amazing.
I mean, and nothing against the white Zinfandel drinkers. We have 3 or 4 of them in our portfolio. But even if we look at drinking white Zinfandel on its own and having Provence wine with food, again, we want you to have the best experience. So if your palate on its own enjoys a little bit more sweetness on the wine and you're not having food, then by all means stop at Bristol's and get the white Zinfandel. But if you're going to have a seafood pasta, or you're going to take Philippe up and try the conch with tomato
conch
paste
salad.
or the conch salad, or any ceviche of sort, then you make a shift and you're not talking about Provence rosé.
Perfect.
And Minuty should be the choice.
Yeah.
It's always perfect with sushi also.
Yeah. Yes. I can imagine that. Wow. All right, this has been great.
Japanese food in general. All the Japanese food in general.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I can imagine it.
Yeah, no, good stuff there. Philippe, nice meeting you. Thank
Good
you.
to meet
Hopefully
you.
we'll see you again.
Thank you very much
Next
for
year,
your
same
time.
time?
Yep. But that's what the plan is next year. A little extended stay, a little bit of a family and market visit, and then some activations. So we'll probably do some food and wine dinners with Minuty on Philippe's follow-up trip.
Fantastic.
Next year we organize
We want to
dinner together.
Absolutely.
We will love that. Kyle, Toure, Zina, thank you so much for being here.
new Zina.
Philippe, nice meeting you.
Thank you very much.
Happy Wines Day to everybody. Okay, we're going to take a quick break and wrap things up. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
We understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It's the lottery of love, and everybody wins.
I love you.
Everybody Wins is giving away over $100,000 in cash prizes in the Lottery of Love.
I love you.
All February long, every $20 spent, you'll receive a raffle ticket. The more you spend, the more chances to win. And you could be among the 30 winners randomly selected on February 28th to win $10, $20, or even $30,000.
I love you.
It's the Lottery of Love at Everybody Wins. Remember to game responsibly and get ready to win.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Bahamians must look for their own niche and make the most out of space exploration. Company SpaceX's deal with the government to land Falcon 9 reusable rocket boosters in Bahamian waters. This could include merchandising and tour opportunities that will come with the prospect of Bahamian space tourism. That's according to Aisha Bowe, the Bahamian rocket scientist and consultant with SpaceX and the Falcon 9 booster landing project. You can read her comments in today's Guardian Business section. Dexter Fernander, the Department of Inland Revenue's operations manager, telling Guardian Business that the department will work with BICA, the Bahamas Institute of Chartered Accountants, on penalties for businesses seeking to renew their business licenses that submit late audited financial statements. Fernando says that 20% compliance for business license renewals was achieved by mid-January, and full compliance is expected by March 31st, with a due date of January 31st for preliminary figures for audited financials having already been passed. More on these stories and more in today's Guardian Business section. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Tuesday, your market movers, Bahamas Waste moving 11,477 shares, closing down 37 cents to 10.63. Consolidated Water up 17 cents to 5.59. Emira Incorporated down 9 cents to 9.66. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,094.97, down 0.30. That's your Market Watch, and that is your Morning Business Report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. Chester Robards, Mr. SpaceX.
No.
No?
No.
That's not what you are?
That's going a little bit far.
I'm sorry. But you're going to be there for the second one?
No, why would I be there for the
Are
second
you ready?
one?
It's already off your bucket list.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good to have you with us.
I'd like to see another one.
You will.
Maybe closer up, but
be here for on your Providence for the boom. I'm sure that would be
I'm definitely
an
be here for the
interesting
boom.
experience for you. But it's great that
I'd
you
like
cleared
to-
up that mystery this morning,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I really didn't know what that was yesterday. That last night, that was weird.
Most people knew
as
what it was
heck.
after it happened. After
Most
a
people
while.
what? No, they didn't. They did
After a
not
while,
know.
they knew what it
We didn't think we would feel that here.
Everybody went to Noel's nose for some reason to find
Oh, they found out what the boom was? What was that loud boom?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
That's what they wrote.
Well, now we know, and we've got 19 more of these. It's going to be fun. Hey, Chester, thank you for being here. I'll see you next
Always a
week.
pleasure.
I'll
See
be
you
back
next
tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green. Next.
Spain sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner with increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools. Take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
With escalating global conflicts, are you ready for what's next? Join us at RF Bahamas Economic Outlook on March 12th at Bahamar, where top global and local experts will break down the key economic, political, and social trends shaping our future. Hear from Admiral Mike Rogers, former head of U.S. Cyber Command, and more. Plus, gain CPD credits, powerful insights, and high-impact networking all in one day. Don't miss out. Secure your spot now at rfbeo.com. That's rfbeo.com. RF Bahamas Economic Outlook. See you there.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds. Each tailor